Welcome back. Just before we touch base with Bruce Croxon, let's take a look at the flagship cryptocurrency Bitcoin. It continues to face downward pressure, of course, since its November highs. There you see Bitcoin. There's a fairly modest move in Bitcoin compared to what we see on many days. It's down by 1.3% or $268, trading now at $20,174 per coin. Recessionary fears, of course, are fueling investors' desire to de-risk their portfolios, and that involves selling off digital currencies. This comes after more trouble at TSX-listed cryptocurrency platform Voyager Digital. We've told you about that story. It's now filing for bankruptcy protection as it faces exposure to a troubled crypto hedge fund. So the bad news is piling up in the crypto space. Let's go now to Bruce Croxon. He's co-founder of Round 13 Capital, joins us every Wednesday on tech-related subjects. Bruce, great to see you again. Your company, Round 13, does in fact have a digital asset fund, that does make investments in the crypto space. How are you invested in crypto, and has that fund taken some losses recently?
Yeah, so Paul, thanks. And you know, I point out that, as always, right, it's the bad news stories that get the headlines, particularly in an environment where recession fears are all around us and people are talking about losing value. But just on the Voyager story in and of itself, I should point out that there's a number of other lending platforms, Avi, Compound, Maker, for example, that are doing just fine, that didn't get out over their skis in terms of lending out money that they didn't have and then facing calls to pay it back, and they couldn't. Like in every industry, you're going to have people that know how to run a company, and you're going to have cowboys. And particularly in an environment like this where regulations are coming, but they're not fully there. So just trying to put a little bit of a different spin on headlines and the temptation to take the bad news and assume that the rest of the industry is going through the same turmoil. Yes, Round 13 is active in the space. As I've said many times, I like to separate the conversations between actually the price of Bitcoin, which seems to get all the headlines, Ethereum as well, and sort of the tokens, and the underlying infrastructure that is the blockchain and all of the interesting innovation that's happening there in terms of new companies being developed off of these protocols that have really nothing to do with the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I look at as, tough to argue as it goes up and down with the market that it is a hedge and a safe haven like gold used to be for decades. But I do believe it will get there. We're early in a market that's going to be with us for the rest of our lives and beyond. And I think the way that we've decided to look at this market is less speculation on, holding large amounts of coins. And just as we would in a venture portfolio, look for companies that are developing infrastructure and applications that you can build real businesses off of. And thankfully for us, there are a number of them. And also thankfully for us, a lot of the innovation has come out of our own country as we've blazed the trail in many, many ways.
Are those companies able to get the capital they require to expand in this environment when there's so much negative sentiment around crypto?
Yes, absolutely. So I think what you're seeing now is a lot of the retail players that have flocked to the easily traded liquid assets of Bitcoin, Ethereum, some of the other coins. Of course, the risk goes up, the redemptions go up, and people get nervous. But the underlying amount of capital that is still available to back good scaling applications and infrastructure companies is very, very strong.
Are we going to see consolidation? Are we going to see players in this space combine, stronger companies buying weaker companies?
Yeah, I think that's a characteristic of every market. Like I look at our venture portfolio and what's happening in private equity. Companies that have good, strong balance sheets as companies that are not run as well or are facing headwinds run into a harder time to raise capital to support their own initiatives that aren't going as well. Those headwinds generally line up with balance sheets that are willing and able to pay and assimilate and grab strategic value from doing so. So I think cryptocurrency market or the digital asset market is going to act no differently than a venture private equity market would.
And you mentioned earlier that regulations are coming to this sector, but they're not here yet. I think a lot of investors agree that regulation is maybe overdue in this sector. Any quick thoughts on what type of regulation would help?
Yeah, other than to say, listen, I mean, the ones I started off today taking a shot at negative headlines, but the one thing that negative headlines do, as you hear about lots of innocent investors losing their capital, it does amp up the pressure to set the guardrails on what's acceptable and what's not. And Voyager, unfortunately, could turn out to be the poster child for that. But yeah, there's lots of activity going on. We're part of a council here in Canada that is lobbying to make sure that regulations keep pace with the industry, and it's only a good thing, Paul. And I think we're going to see a lot of progress on that in the next year.